Hi guys, Fernandes Lembo on the grid. John, a lot to talk about, so let's get right to it.
All right.
You know, tomorrow night we got a lot of boys basketball. Tonight we got girls basketball. But let's start with boys soccer because it is the regional final.
No, state semifinal.
State semifinal.
Right.
One win away from the championship. We got Lakewood Ranch hosting Stanford Seminole and Venice at Miami Doral. Just break down those two games a little bit.
Well, yeah, huge runs for both teams. Second time Ranch has been here. First time was 2014. First time ever for Venice.
Right.
And I think they're both playing well. I think Lakewood Ranch, it might be the top-ranked team alive right now. They're the top-ranked team in 8A, 5A. They're ranked 10th in the nation by Max Preps. So, you know, they're playing well. And, of course, Venice is playing really well as well. So, Venice, of course, has to travel. But Lakewood Ranch will be home. They've been home the entire playoffs, district and regional. So we'll see how that works out. But, yeah, I mean, it's a good shot. We'll have two teams playing for state championships next weekend in DeLand.
You know, I got to ask you something about, everybody talks about, or at least we do a lot, girls basketball and how they play the game fundamentally better than a lot of the boys teams when you really break it on the fundamentals. Have you watched, I'm going to throw this question at you.
Sure.
Have you seen enough girls soccer and boys soccer? Can you make that same statement that is the very nature of the game prevent that? Or do the girls play the game more fundamentally sound than boys in soccer, you think?
You know, I'm not that much of an soccer expert. But from what I've seen, soccer is one of those sports where, you know, if you're watching two good teams, it's so much fun to watch.
It is.
And if you're watching two teams who gets to play literally kickball, it's a tough 80 minutes. But that's been the great thing about this run for Venice and Ranch. They played some great teams. Venice has played Palmetto twice, once in the district final, once in the regional semis. Lakewood Ranch has played Palm Harbor, which is number one in the state. They beat them. They played a really good Plant City team in the regional final. They put a good Stuyvesant team. So you're seeing some really, really good soccer. So whether it's girls or boys teams, if you see two teams in the field who are fast, who run set pieces, it's fun no matter what, it's a girl or a boy. It doesn't really matter.
And when you get to this level, you're seeing some high-quality level of soccer.
Yeah, and I think Lakewood Ranch is going to be hopping. I know the boys are home for basketball tomorrow night, but also the boys soccer is going to be home as well in the stadium. They had a nice crowd for the Plant City game. And, hey, you win on Friday. You're playing for the state championship next week in DeLand at Speck Martin Stadium, which is the home of the Stetson's football team. So,
and always check out these scores and read the stories.
And, of course, Twitter, I'm covering Ranch tomorrow night.
Exactly.
At John Lembo 1878, and Dennis Maffezoli will be in Miami covering Venice. So follow us for updates and see how the local kids do.
I speak about just changing gears on a different sport. Talk about girls basketball. You'll be at a game. Just talk about the games tonight. You got Booker. You'll be at that game. You got Lakewood Ranch, Northport. Just break down those two games a little bit.
Well, you know, Booker playing Middleton. I've not seen Middleton play, but Booker's obviously playing well. Ranch, Northport. Ranch, to me, is a favorite. I think Ranch is open for another big run to a state championship game, try and win a state championship game. They have all the pieces in place. They're a really, really good team. They didn't play that well against Sarasota in the district final, but they won. The Deja Williams played really well that night. So, yeah, I mean, I think Lakewood Ranch really has the pieces in place to get back to a state final. A lot has to happen, obviously, but they are, without doubt, the best girls team we have right now standing.
But if you're talking about, just changing gears again, if you're talking about local teams in a sport, tomorrow night, boys basketball, we got 9 local teams in 6 games. Let's just briefly talk about the last games we covered. I was at Riverview's game easily over an 0-17 Tampa Riverview team. I'll be very surprised. They play Tampa Newsome on Friday, beating them twice during the regular season. I'd be very surprised if BJ Ivory's team isn't home hosting for that first round of regional action. But how about the game you were at? You were at Ranch.
And Venice.
Yeah, at Venice. They will be playing Palmetto, second seed. Looks like they're having another great season, Ranch.
They really are. Their only 2 losses came to out-of-state teams during a tournament around Christmas time in Ocala. Jeremy Schiller, the boys coach, has done a great job there. 3 straight 20-plus win seasons, undefeated in district, 3 straight regional trips, 3 straight trips to a district final. He's really turned that program around. And kind of like the soccer team, this is a big year for the basketball team because there are a lot of seniors on that team. They are very experienced. So if this is the year for Lakewood Ranch boys basketball, it's this season to make a run. They made a run last year, regional final, lost to a really good St. Pete team. So we'll see, but yeah, they're having a great season. I think they're the favorite tomorrow night against Palmetto.
Palmetto 18-4. I would think we'd have to play the match of the game of a season for them to pull this one out.
Yep. And, you know, obviously it's tough to beat the same team 3 times. I mean, Ranch did it to Venice, and they did it pretty decisively last night by 25 points. But, yeah, I mean, Palmetto has to play really, really well to beat Ranch. Ranch plays pretty fundamentally sound. They do different things. They do what they do well. And they really, and again, Jeremy Schiller has done a great job with that program, with where it was to where it is now.
We really got to give a shout out to Booker. First year of Marcus Black taking over Phil Hellmuth, who did a nice job up there. 17-7. They're at Sebring, 18-4. Team split during the season.
Right.
So just want to give shout out to the Tornadoes. I didn't get to see them, the boys team, but they've done a very nice job.
I think it's the first time in 5 years of playing in the regional tournament. Because as you know, you go to district championship game, win or lose, you're in the regional. So definitely a big step forward. And the girls team, too, first year for Loy Moore.
Right.
And they won a district championship. You were, I think, at that game against Lake Wales.
Sure.
So, yeah, a good year for Booker basketball, a good year for Ranch basketball.
Really, the story that really hasn't been reported, and I'll be at this game Friday night and be doing a story next week. Look for it on Herald-Tribune.com or hdprep.com.
Have we covered something up?
Well, actually, ODA plays Friday night against Sarasota Christian at St. Stephen's. ODA 19-3. This is a program that's come from nowhere. Marcus Liberty, the former basketball star, college basketball star, took over that program. 5 guys, they only have 6 on the roster. 5 guys do about 85% of the scoring. So I will be at that game. They're the top seed title against a very tough Sarasota Christian team. So that's going to be a very interesting story just from that angle for a team that really hasn't really done anything heretofore.
Great year for ODA, and you're right. Yeah,
right.
I mean, ODA is kind of one of those schools where the tennis and golf teams kind of take center stage, but and they had a good baseball team for a while too.
They have, yeah.
But great year for the basketball program, and this is how you start. You need that one good year to kind of build things, build some enthusiasm, build some momentum, and if they win the district title, that'll be a nice feather in their cap.
And I wanted to use the word heretofore. I've never quite used it in the history of On the Grid, so I just want to
used it really well.
Get that one in there. And we can't forget about Port Charlotte. There's a rivalry in every sport. They play tomorrow night.
District boys basketball championship.
Yeah, so an early call on that.
I think Charlotte's won all 3 games. I think.
Right.
So you got to say they're fair, but again, can you beat a team 4 times?
Right.
And there is a rivalry factor. Big crowd. Peace River rivalry should be a lot of fun.
And a story that you'll be reading tomorrow in tomorrow's paper, and probably you can read it right now in HD Preps by our colleague Dennis Maffezoli.
Yes.
Don Southwell has replaced DJ Ogilvy as head football coach down at Lemon Bay High School.
Yeah.
Longtime assistant. You thought a few days ago that maybe he'd get the call.
Well, I just I didn't have any contacts or anything.
Sure.
But I know.
But as a season reporter, you sort of had that feel, that smell.
It's my 7th
especially
sense.
The smell.
Yeah, especially the smell. I know we coached the weightlifting team for a while. Again, it was just kind of a guess. It wasn't like I knew for a fact.
Right.
But, a longtime assistant. He's coached the weightlifting team. I've talked to him a couple of times. Really good guy.
From Arcadia, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, really good guy, and DJ, of course, going back to Ohio to serve as an AD at a school we used to teach at and coach at.
Right.
So good luck to him and his family. But I think it's nice that the program's kind of going from one familiar face to another. It's pretty important.
The few times I dealt with DJ, always a stand-up guy, obviously a very good coach. From what I understand, he's going back to the high school that I believe he was either a student at or a teacher at. Made him an offer he couldn't refuse, him and his wife. So they're both going back up there, so good for them.
Yes.
And I'm sure continuation is always important, especially in a high school program. This should be kind of seamless. With a long-time assistant taking over,
the kids know the face, and the people know the face, and he knows the program, he knows the area, and I think it's a pretty good move for Lemon Bay.
Right. And what else did you want to show up?
Well,
we can't let this pass. This is great. A visual aid.
As we all know, we're moving our digs here.
Right.
The Herald-Tribune. So someone found this for me. This is a 2009 Manatee Hurricanes football program.
Right.
This was the year they beat Aquinas in the state semifinal. Aquinas is number 1 in the country.
Sure.
37 straight wins, huge win. The running back that year for Aquinas was a guy you're probably really happy about right now.
And I'm sure the country knows right now more than a week ago.
Right. James White was the running back for Aquinas that season. Scored a touchdown year against Manatee. He, of course, scored the game-winning touchdown in overtime last Sunday, Super Bowl 51. So that kind of ties into everything. But, this is a pretty classic Manatee team and kind of got the Hurricanes back into national relevance. So I saw this and thought, be cool to bring that on the show. And
we, as a tie-in to that, we always want to tout stories that we broke. Aquinas will be playing Venice next year, and you read that story first on HD Preps or the Herald-Tribune.
Yeah. So, and it's Maffezoli.
That was a pretty good deal.
Right.
So what else we got? We got a few minutes. What else to look forward to?
That's about
besides the games Friday night?
That's about it.
Yeah. Before you know it, me and John will be doing spring training games. But we'll still try to get it on the grid. So we got a lot to look forward to, and we're running out of time. So for Doug Fernandez and John Limbo, we'll see you next week on the Grid.